Are you tired of going down fast at Killer Shack, or are you the person getting flamed because you dropped the Shack pallet at 5 gens when the game just started? Or are you the killer that just can't seem to catch anyone at Shack whatsoever? Well, don't worry, because I'm gonna teach you how to run it for the newer players, but first let me say what is good in my gang, what is good fam. The title and intro is pretty self-explanatory, but if you are a newer player to Dead by Daylight, and you just so happen to click on my Shack guide instead of the 500 other Shack guides on YouTube, then welcome to the game filled with pain. But if you're a seasoned player and you just can't seem to get the hang of Shack, I almost guarantee this video might help you a little bit, but you should definitely still subscribe because I am almost at 1,000 subscribers and I'm broke, so give me the 1K so I can start making money. We will go over the survivor side, then the killer side of the Shack, because it is a little easier to understand, especially after the survivor explanation. First, let's go over the shape of Shack. There's going to be a pallet in a doorway close to a window, so if you are running the Shack and you don't see a pallet, the window is going to be on the opposite side of the Shack. And before you even consider wanting to learn how to run Shack, you have to learn how to run the whole Shack looking backwards. This goes for looping in general and all loops. If you can't look backwards while looping, you will never get good at it, let alone looping Shack. To practice this, go to the menu, go to the tutorial menu, it'll say getting started, and select survive with average solo queued players. In this, you will have the only killer player ever that doesn't sweat, Trapper, so him chasing you, you won't have to worry. Try to run every loop while looking backwards and doing double takes, but obviously we're learning about Shack, so you want to be able to do this with Shack. A double take is what seasoned survivors and experienced survivors do to make sure they know where they're going and where the killer is doing, almost like you're trying to look at all the voices that you hear inside of your head. For Shack, it's pretty easy once you get the hang of it. And then after you get used to that, or you can actually do it somewhat, next step. The best way to run Shack is to enter the long wall door and then take the window, as it's almost impossible to get a medium vault. You will almost always get the fast vault. If the killer vaults after or walks through the door, you have enough distance to make the window again, and that's what makes the Shack so consistent. This is the optimal way to run Shack, and you want to keep doing this until the window blocks, which means you'll have to vault the window 3 times while in chase. But most killers know this is what you want to do because killer have big brain. This is where the killer would do different types of tactics to confuse you and get free hits. The easiest thing to do as a killer is the MJ moonwalk to hide your red stain. There's not really a pure counter to this, it just kind of comes down to experience and sitting in LOS spots or line of sight spots. The best LOS spot in Shack is right inside of the doorway you always enter, and you want to be facing the window. Just inside the doorway though, so you can see behind the wall, through the window, and the pallet doorway. Standing there almost guarantees you will not get caught off guard. You want to do this so you can see the killers around the longer wall, so you can see the killer double vault if they go to vault, and so you can avoid giving a free hit. Or if the killer does a mind game where they pretend to run around and they come through the other doorway, which as someone who dabbles in a little bit of killer, it works for me 7 out of 10 times. Literally just sitting here counters almost all mind games. But let's say you do get mind gamed and you are forced to run the other door. Most important thing is you quickly have to use the Pythagorean theorem to calculate the angle of trajectory of your character. AKA, you just gotta run wide and get the fast vault, because if you don't, you're taking a slap to your back meat. But if the killer knows this, they will fake follow you through the Shack and they will double back and get a free hit. If this happens, it's almost guaranteed an injure, unless you are very experienced and you predict the killer will do this. So you just don't take the window. Problem solved. Just to solve all your problems, just get good, kid. And there is a common stipulation that Shack pellets shouldn't be dropped until the entitled survivor on your team gets a turn of looping Shack. Yeah, throw that out the fucking window, because if gen speed is looking good and you're injured at Shack and you're not confident with your looping, whether the killer's mind games are just really good or you're just not looping well that day, just drop it. One less pallet to work with is better than having one less hook state to work with. And that is pretty much all there is to it. It's very easy to learn and understand, so if I did help you out, any of the newer survivors out there, hit me with a sub. But now it's time for the killer. And I know I didn't go over everything, but this is a new beginner guide. I am not a pro survivor, so I'm not gonna give a pro guide. First thing as a killer is don't respect the pallet. There is no reason whatsoever to respect this pallet. Are you scared of getting stunned? Huh? Scared of getting stunned? You scared? A little bit. The sooner the pallet is gone, the better. Don't respect it so you can get it out of the way. Faster it's gone, the weaker Shack is for all of the survivors. When chasing a survivor through the Shack, a double vault will catch newer survivors off guard, but is almost useless due to the red stain giving a 10-second warning to any survivor near you. But you could get lucky, I'm not gonna lie, but this is one mind game that almost never works out for me anymore. It doesn't work against the survivors I go against. You can show a sliver of red stain and double back to the window for a free hit at the window, or if they run around and greet the pallet and you aren't respecting, as you shouldn't be, you get the free hit. The MJ hee moonwalk works too, but all I gotta say is against really good survivors, tricking them with mind games becomes substantially harder, especially at Shack due to how strong it is. So don't feel discouraged if you can't out mind game a survivor at Shack, as it is one of the strongest loops for survivors for a reason. The very last thing you have to go over for killers is just learn how to use your power really effectively at Shack. I know it's not as easy as it looks or sounds, but this will unlock your ultra instinct potential. If you can master your killer's power at Chase in every loop, you will become a beast easily. I mean, I guess I could make a video on how to use every killer's power at Shack if I had, like, you know, 950 subs or like 1,000 subs. Sheesh, that'd be crazy. But yeah, there you go. That was the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I definitely didn't go over every single little thing ever because this is for new people, new survivors, new killers, new people in general. So if you want to add something I didn't mention, leave it in the comments and I will add it to my comment, which will be pinned. So any new players who like this video can look at the comments and see everything I missed. If you have any video ideas, make sure you comment them. I am always open to ideas. If you are leaving a comment, make sure you are respectful about it. Respect is the main thing around here. We don't do no disrespect. And when this video goes up, I will most likely be live on Twitch. Probably not, maybe an hour after this video comes up. So why don't you hit the Twitch with a follow? The vibes are immaculate. And yeah, other than that, hope you guys enjoyed. Subscribe, like, comment, share, plus TikTok, follow TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. Hit my new single on SoundCloud, on Spotify, on Steam, on Internet Explorer. Okay, I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. I'm kind of just procrastinating to make the video longer, I guess.
Baby, it started when we were younger.